Welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And do you believe it, Andrea? Our first episode of, second episode
second
already. I can't even
episode.
believe we're going this
I
fast.
know, it's amazing
Oh,
how
the time.
fast the time goes.
I know,
Yes,
it's
exactly.
incredible. But we talked about goal setting last week because, everybody always has New Year's resolutions. They always have their goals, lined up and
With the right intentions.
With the right
intentions.
Yes, I love that. We all have good intentions, right?
Yes.
But we thought this week what we would do is talk about what actually happened in 2024.
Right.
What were your successes? I mean, we have to have gratitude for even the little things, right?
Even the little things, yes.
So it's one of those things where if you look back on the year, what were some of your successes? And if you thought back, Andrea, I'm going to say some of the things that you set out to do, even name one of your big successes that you do appreciate and have gratitude for because 2024 made that happen.
Oh my God, that's a tough one, Linda.
It isn't for me. So why don't you do this? You let me tell you one of yours that you should be grateful for.
Okay.
And maybe you can think of one for me that you've noticed.
Okay.
So I'm going to say 2024 brought a year of change for Andrea. And even though it was near the end of the year, she decided that she was going to overcome her addiction to smoking.
I know, we talked about that last
We
week.
did.
Yeah.
But Andrea, for
and it's
me,
still good. I'm still clean.
but the thing is, it was a goal that it doesn't matter the time of the year. It was when she decided she was ready. You set your mind to doing that. And for me, that was a big thing for you.
Right.
Because that little success is becoming a big success because
Right.
of how long you've been going now without the smoke.
I know.
And it
It's
was
not
because
easy.
it's not easy, but you set your mind.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is when you set your mind to do something, it's in your control.
Right.
So,
And at the moment when you're deciding to do that, it's a tough decision to make because you're worried about the aftermath, right? Like, am I going to enjoy another cup of coffee? Are my friends going to want me around? Because, what, like they say, birds of a feather flock together. So if you're a drinker, you hang out with drinkers. If you're, whatever. So, and the same with smoking. And a lot of your friends might not like it that you quit because it makes them feel inferior or it reminds them that they should quit smoking. I've thought about that already when I see some friends of mine in Florida that I haven't told them yet. So when they see that they might say, because some people can get jealous or be happy for you.
well,
right?
when the jealousy happens, it's because they know they would
They
like
should
it
do
themselves,
Yeah.
but they don't feel ready.
Right.
And so they're jealous that you were ready.
Yeah.
And
And,
they're not-
I was ready. And you have to have the mindset because it is hard.
Right.
Very hard. And like I said, the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, a month, it seemed easy. I thought, this is going along great. But I'm going to tell you, I've been fighting it. I've been fighting it for a couple of weeks. And I'm not giving in. So
It does get harder, I
It does.
find. Sometimes when you actually do it, you think in the beginning it's easy because
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
because you're on a high scale
Yes.
about making that decision.
yes,
And then after, everybody here knows that I'm not smoking. And so the novelty of that's worn off. But for me, I have to fight it. And if you're not in the right mindset when you decide to do it, you won't make it through the hard time.
yeah.
You just won't. You'll give in.
And one of the other things that I've noticed, again, and sometimes it is easier because when you're living your life, you don't always notice the successes that you've had for yourself because you don't think about it in that way. And so you might even have this exercise with your husband, your partner, your kids, and say, what did I do right? What did you think that, of whatever change that you might have made or what they noticed that you've made. Because one of the other changes, Andrea, and I won't even really call it a change, but one of the other successes that I think that you've done well over the year is that you've continued with your Weight Watchers. You've been very diligent. Yes, sometimes you slipped a bit and treated yourself a little bit more than sometimes you want to feel a little guilty about it that you shouldn't, because I think that you've done overall a really good job, and that success,
Thank
you know, I would like to see that you continue, because I know it makes you happy
Yeah.
when you are doing that successfully. And you might not always notice and appreciate what you've done, but I've
Right.
noticed, and
Thank you.
I really think that you've done an amazing job. And I'm going to come up with number 3
Oh my goodness.
for your successes for 2024.
I didn't know I was so successful this year.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes people you won't notice for yourself,
Right.
but you might have to get the opinion of somebody else.
Right.
But one of the other things that I think that Andrea does well, she's a very, very, very good friend. And whether it's to me
you.
or to your other friends, I really appreciate the fact that we have such a good friendship,
Yes,
because
me too.
we were friends as kids.
Right.
And then not really forever,
No.
until very late in life again,
Right.
when we reconnected, and we kind of got back that friendship that we had as kids.
Right.
Even though we've had that lifespan where we weren't together at all, like no communication. She had her life with her kids and her family.
And it's funny because it really makes me feel awesome to have you back in my life, because you are part of the beginning of my life. So
Yeah.
we understand
Yeah.
so much about where we came from, all our habits, our things we like to eat. And other people might be like, oh, but we get it, you know? And I love having somebody from Azilda in my life besides my sisters,
Yeah.
you know? And it's funny, I don't know why. Okay?
But you know what? Kind of, it's understandable in one sense. We had good memories
Yes.
growing up.
Yeah.
And that's
And our
not
moms,
and our
moms were
but
best
and that's
friends.
not something that you can just share with anybody,
No,
because
no.
there's always that connection.
Right.
And a lot of people, when they break apart because they've moved on in their lives, don't always get it back.
No.
And we were able to get it back through our moms.
Yeah.
And but see, now our moms are long gone, kind of thing, and we're still connected.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good knowing that we have a very good close friendship again,
Yes.
because you know, I liked your company when we were kids, but we were kids.
Yeah.
And we're at a different place in our life. But
Being
I
bad and naughty.
Yeah, well, you know, we were kids. But as an adult,
Yeah.
and we really do get to choose, and we make an effort to be friends.
Right.
And we've been doing this. And again, even for me to say, for us in 2024, being very consistent, you know, putting out
Right.
content.
Right.
And we appreciate you. We do thank you for the subscriptions that you have, and, you know, the ones that just watch it. I mean, we'd love you to subscribe. But the thing is, we appreciate that. And we find that that's a successful thing for us,
Yes.
because we haven't stopped.
Well, and that's where I'm going to say about you that Linda is so, I don't even know how to say it, like, your mind is so strong, and this is something you want, and you keep us going, because, you know, you'll call me and say, okay, I'll be there Friday. I'll be like, okay. You know, like, I don't think about it on a daily basis, but I know you do, because you're more career minded, business minded, and you keep me going, actually. Like, if it wasn't for your strength, I probably would say, it's not working out, forget it, right? So you're a very strong person that way. And when you say about friendship, yes, and you're also, this year, it's not only her success story, but her family, that she's such a phenomenal sister, that her sister probably is alive today because of you and your persistence. And you're wanting and needing her to be healthy. And you're the older sister, you know, so it was even more, you probably felt it was your duty or your job to do something. And you can honestly say she's cancer-free now. And that was because of you, Linda.
Well, thank you. And God.
Well, God,
we give
God,
we got a lot of credit for him.
God
because,
always,
yeah,
God
yes.
always. But he put it in your head to do it. And you did it. And I don't know that I would have had the strength to do that, you know, because it was an alternative thing. But you were forceful and relentless.
I think sometimes you have to be, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a big success story for you.
Thank you. And there's a lot of little things along the way that we can go on about us, but this isn't about us. This is about you and your successes and recognizing that the things that you do well. I do want to tell you though, like the audience, Andrea, because I was talking to a friend recently that watches our show, but even for 2024, it was our third year of doing this. That where you started, because again, when I roped Andrea into doing this with me,
did.
you know, Andrea was not sure, she wasn't confident and whatever. And it was kind of nice that this friend had said, Andrea's come a long way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said, the difference now when I watch her, she's so much more confident when she's on it. And you see, that's the thing. It doesn't matter the age.
That's right. Exactly.
If you set your mind to doing something, only you can prevent you from doing it or keep going forward and being successful in that thing.
That's right. And you can only try. Give it
That's
a
it.
try. Give it a shot. If it's something you've wanted to do, go ahead and do it. Like, this is not something I would have ever wanted to do, but Linda did. And because of our friendship, she asked me to do it with her. And I, like she said, I was like, oh, I don't know, I'll try. You know, so, but now I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I feel more confident talking and speaking about certain things. And I didn't know somebody said that, so that was great. And then we do get comments here and there about the show. Like a couple of weeks ago, we did the AI one. We got lots of great comments on that. Everybody was saying, oh, we wanted to try it, but we didn't know how. Oh, thank you so much for showing us it. That makes you feel good.
Yeah, even my own sister said she enjoyed that episode, and I don't think she watches them all, but she happened to tune in on that one, and she goes, oh, that was a real good episode, because she learned something.
So that's the way to be grateful, and we're grateful for that, and we're grateful for the feedback and the comments, and we're grateful that we were able to show somebody the way, because we didn't know how to do it 6 months ago.
Maybe you didn't. I've been doing it for the last year.
Okay, so but before that, you had to be shown.
Yeah.
And everybody has to learn, you know. We learn as we go. It's the willingness to want to learn.
That's what I was going to say, because Andrea, so many people are stuck in a certain way and they don't like change.
Or they say, what's the point? I'm 70. Why should I bother? Why should you bother? You might have 30.
That's why you should bother.
But you might have 30 more years left.
Exactly.
Get off your horse. Like, my aunt is 92 years old. She's still driving around, shopping, living in her home. So 22 years ago, she said that she might not be around.
Exactly.
You know? Or she might have done more if she thought she was going to live this healthy, this long. Well, but that's our goal.
Yeah.
To live healthy as long as we can. And I think the way to do that is by being relevant.
So it's funny you say that, because I remember years ago reading something, and this gentleman was, I don't know, he was in his 90s and he was being interviewed, and they said, what's the success of you know, like your longevity, the secret of your, you know, living this long? He goes, actually, if I knew I would have lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you don't know when your number's up.
You don't know.
One of my clients back in November, she lost her mother, and her mother was 103.
Wow.
Still had all of her faculties. She had mobility issues, but other than the fact that because of the mobility, she fell, she hit her head, ended up with a stroke, and she passed. But she was 103.
Right.
And she could have lived much longer.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't have mobility, even in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s,
Exactly.
60s. So mobility is something that can be taken care of.
Yeah.
You can have a wheelchair. You can have, they have wheelchair access transit. You know, I see people all over the place in wheelchairs or...
I go to bingo occasionally.
Scooters.
And there's people in wheelchairs getting dropped off at the bingo hall. And even though they got their wheelchair, they're just wheeling right in. It's not a problem.
And
so
they're having fun. They're still living their life. Like that's the thing. When my mom went into the nursing home, she basically stopped living. And I used to get so angry with her. I go, Ma, it's just that you need care during the day.
Right.
But my sisters were there every night. They had bingo, they had baking classes, they had trips. And when I went there, I would take her out for the weekend. I said, why do you stop living? I don't know why she gave up like that. It was almost like if she wasn't in her house, but in her house, she did nothing. That's what killed me.
Because she had stopped baking and stuff, I guess, too, right?
Yeah. But, you know, so I took her to one of the baking classes in the thing, but she wasn't really interested. So I said, okay, Mom, if you just want to lay here and do nothing, I'll just sit here with you,
Well,
you know,
and
watch TV and watch the same programs over and over.
But you know, it's one of those things that she made the choice.
She made the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Andrea, I mean, in Isilda at the time, she lost a lot of her friends at that point too.
Yes.
So she didn't have that connection anymore.
Right.
I mean, yes, with some family members, and that should be enough, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Your mom was quite, I'll say,
social. Yeah.
she wasn't. She had a lot of friends, and as they were dying off,
I
she was
think
a
it
little
was-
piece. Yes.
Yeah, a piece of her died with them all along. Yeah.
Because it was the same with my mom. By the time she passed away, all of her friends, except for I think there was one friend left in Sudbury. Your mom was already gone.
Yeah.
One friend left, and she had two relatives that she would talk on the phone.
Right.
They used to come occasionally when mom was living in her own apartment, but
Right.
when she went into an assisted living, you know,
Yeah.
they weren't coming. But and that's what happens.
It does take the joy out of it sometimes, but you got to find new joys
And new friends.
and new friends. Like, so maybe not like I in those nursing homes. My mom, my mother-in-law, there were women in there. They were having a hoot. Like they would, you know, meet up at lunchtime and talk and this and that, and they were at every party or every function that was going on. They got involved.
Yeah.
You know, and they were doing okay. I mean, nobody wants to go there, but if you need the help, you need the help.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to take care of yourself when you're younger and when you can. Eat right, you know, do some exercise, take some vitamins, you know, use your noggin and enjoy it. Have some hobbies.
Yes.
Even. You know? I mean, we're lucky. Our generation is lucky because when we get older, we're going to have our iPads. So we can play on that and whatever, you know. And so there will be a few more perks when we get to that age. But hopefully, you know, I'll be like my aunt, running around at 92, driving my car, you know, and not fearing life.
No,
or getting old.
But that's why you have gratitude, Andrew, for when you wake up and realize that you've been given blessed with another day to do whatever it is that you want.
That's right.
Blessed that your family is still, you know, around you.
Right.
Blessed that you've still got friends. Blessed that you can still go to Florida.
Right.
And all these things make a difference in living your life.
Exactly.
And that's all we're trying to do is share.
And I mean, look at you at your age, you know, 2 jobs, very successful job, you know, and you have the freedom to go and do what you want. And some women at 70 just sit in the house and do nothing. And you're still working, loving it.
Got a third one on the way. Because I just found a techie that's going to help me with my
Your third
online,
project.
my third project. Yes.
Yeah. See?
Excited about that.
Live your life, have fun. And if you want to sit, like some people, they've always thought about maybe writing a book. Well, if you're sitting at home,
Why not?
sit down and write something. It doesn't have to go anywhere.
Yep, that's true.
You don't even have to publish it. It's
You
just
can do
for
it
your
for
own
you.
sake. Maybe start your tree, your ancestral tree,
Oh,
family tree online. They have all kinds of programs you can pull, and then you can do that for your children or your grandchildren.
But
you know?
also doing that, I bet you get an online community that helps you.
there is.
Again, that's that social thing
I know.
again.
Yeah, I know there is an online community because my cousin in Nova
There's
Scotia
one
does
of
it,
everything.
One
Whatever
of
community
everything,
that you're interested
whatever
in.
you're interested in, and you know, if you love to do puzzles, you
Yes.
know, get hyped about that, you know, or get
That's a biggie.
your kids or your grandkids to involve, show them how to do that, sewing, knitting, whatever. You'd be
Some of the lost art.
Some of the lost art, and you'd be surprised. We were out at a family function on Saturday, and my brother-in-law was there. My sister couldn't attend, but my daughter started talking about how my sister taught her how to sew. Now I couldn't sew worth nothing, and and she started saying she was teaching somebody how to sew, and Dennis said, "Well, where did you learn to sew?" She says, "From Robin and my sister," and so there you go. See, I don't know how to sew, but at least she taught her how to sew, and now she's passing it on to the next generation, you know, and that got her hooked on doing crafts and all kinds of things, and it unleashed something in her.
That's right.
You know,
because if you don't try it, you don't even know what you could be passionate about.
Exactly.
That's why you got to try a lot of different things.
A lot of different things.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I like cooking, and I'm in the online all the time researching recipes, because not so much baking, but
Yeah.
cooking. And
Yeah.
like last night, I made a gorgeous pork loin in the crock pot with onions and gravy. Oh my God, it was so good. I just found it online, and it tweaked my interest, and I did it, and so now it's a saved recipe.
Yeah. But I do that too. But see, that's a success.
Yeah.
When you do something like that, you know what? That's something that you got to be proud of, like you said,
Yeah.
because now you've created this thing for your family
Right.
that you didn't have in your arsenal, I'll say, of cookbooks and recipes that you were doing,
Yeah.
but you were adventurous, went out and looked for something new.
Yeah, I'm always it always piques my interest to look for different recipes, and watching the cooking shows, like the contests and the competitions, to see what different things are out there,
Just getting excited
Get
about
excited
stuff.
about something.
Yeah.
Exactly. And everybody has something.
Yeah.
Could be a sport, a
Yeah.
book, and there's a lot of book clubs out there. And, stuff online. You can interact with people online. And didn't you say your mom used to play bingo with Dennis online they could compete against each other?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought
No.
that was the thing. Like,
No, but I know people have
Wow.
done different live cards and stuff,
like
but
they
not
can chat
no.
online and
No.
play games with each other.
Yeah,
Like
I've never done that.
I saw my grandson playing with his friend
No,
a game.
see,
And
because they're young.
they're
That's-
young. They know how to do that.
Yeah, they
stuff.
do.
But
They
see,
do.
but we can do it too.
We can. For me, I've just chosen not to,
Right.
only because of that connection. Because then I might get hooked on doing mostly that and not the other stuff I have.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
I have too many things on my
That's
plate
right.
now
Yeah.
that I don't
No,
want
but
to.
for people who are at home.
No, that's what I'm talking
maybe
about.
they're
That's good.
immobile. Maybe they can't get out.
Absolutely.
This is a way to
You
interact
need,
with people.
for sure, because
Yeah.
social is going to keep you alive and young and healthy.
Yes.
You don't even understand how much that means
Yes.
in your overall health.
Absolutely.
But when it's healthy up here, it helps
Mm-hmm.
health with the rest of the body.
Exactly.
So we hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. Andrea's going to give you now her quote for the new year, because we didn't give you this one last week, and this is the second week. But I said to her, this one is a given. You must share this with our audience.
So this is a quote by Vern McClellan, and it's, "What the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year."
I mean, you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you bringing to this year?
Bring your happy, grateful,
Successful.
healthy, successful self. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
So until next week, I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
We hope you like,
Share.
and please subscribe.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Until next week.
Bye.